Over the years, I have harped and I've harped, and no, not that kind of harp. Okay, so I've spoken a lot about how important it is to have a good, rock solid tripod for your workflow. Now, your tripod, when you think about it, this is, man, it's the foundation of your photography setup. It gives you a solid base for taking tack sharp photos and stable videos. So you really don't want to skimp when it comes to buying a tripod. In fact, I would even call buying a tripod an investment. And actually, come to think of it, I've said that in the past. It's something that you pay now, but it can pay dividends long into the future, providing you get a rock solid tripod to begin with. Now, the question we're going to be discussing and considering here today is whether this tripod right here, the Vanguard VEO 3+303 CBS, yeah, I know what you're thinking. That's a mouthful. But anyways, does it fall into the rock solid category or not? Now, I've had this bad boy here for you know what? Actually, this is creeping on to 4 months now. And this was really intentional how I spaced this review here. I wanted to really spend as much time as I could with this thing here. And actually, I could spend a lot longer. But I think in 4 months, I've gotten a good idea of what this thing is and what it is not. So anyways, I've had this for quite a handful of time now, so it's time to see whether or not this is a hit or miss. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, as I often do with videos like this, I want to set the stage for you by exploring some of the essential specs of this here tripod. Now, think of this as kind of the tripod dating profile. These are things that are going to likely swipe to the left, or swipe to the right when you first see it. Okay, so kicking things off, you can see there's carbon fiber construction, which gives it both strength and lightweight. Now, the tripod has 3 section legs, now each of which feature this easy to use twist lock. All you have to do is twist and lock. Simple to use there. Now, variable height allows from a low of about 8.5 inches all the way up to a maximum of 70 inches, which really gives you excellent versatility for composing all sorts of shots from macro, portrait, landscapes, or whatever you want to go shooting with this thing. And the multi-angle center column gives you 360-degree movement. And when you think about it, with the 3 leg angles to choose from, you get even more flexibility setting up those shots. Now, they say this thing will hold 55 pounds of gearing. I mean, let's be real here. Who the hell's out there with 55 pounds of camera to put on a tripod? I mean, okay, if you do, good for you. But I think most of us, we're on the, man, I'd be surprised if my rig, even with my largest lens, is over 10 pounds, but whatever. So it can accommodate small, medium, and large camera lens combinations. Plus, you can actually access or add accessories to this thing, like lights, mics, and so forth as well. Now, the tripod does come with a ARC-compatible dual axis ball head, which is going to give you precise control for locking in positions for the perfect shot. And look at it here. It's about 31 inches in length when it is folded down, and it only weighs about 6 pounds. So this thing is really easy to transport. So this tripod ticks off all the boxes in a quick flyby of its specs. It's versatile, it's well built, and can hold a great deal of gear without being cumbersome. Super heavy tripod. It is the best. Yeah. It's the best of both worlds. In fact, there's a chance that this might be one of the better tripods that I've tested recently. But before I go putting this at the top of the class of tripods, it's worth exploring some of its primary features, things that really set this apart from some of the run-of-the-mill tripods that are currently out there. Now, one of the things I've really kind of gained to appreciate with this tripod over the recent months is versatility is really off the charts. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, this tripod can get down to about 8.5 inches off the ground, and it can extend as high as 70 inches. Now, what's more is the multi-angle center column here gives you 360-degree movement, and the legs can be adjusted between 3 different angles, all of which taken together means that this tripod is enormously versatile. So you can get down low for macro shots, up high for portraits, or all point between to frame up those photos and those videos with interesting and unique angles. And when you add in the dual axis VEO BH250S ball head here that you're looking at right here, you get even more precise control over how you frame up your shots, no matter what the subject might be. Now, of course, Vanguard takes it a step further by including this thing right here. This is the VEO Plus MA1 adapter, which you can use with the center column to create another attachment point. So you can add a light, a mic, a display, or another accessory to create a better flow for your work. Now, I've used this to mount a GoPro, just so it just gives me, you guys know how I'm with my GoPros. Well, the camera that's shooting this right now is a GoPro. I'm constantly using this. So I can mount a GoPro on top of this, and so I get a secondary or B-roll camera on the same tripod. Yeah, super cool. And let me demonstrate how amazingly this works here. Okay, so let's see if I can do this backwards here. You have this little red knob right here. You're going to, well, first loosen this up. You're gonna pop this out. Boom, boom, boom. Couldn't get any easier than that. You want to come back over here, lock that out. Okay, now you'll see there's a little pin right here. You're gonna make sure this part is facing down, press that down and close it off. Boom, it's off to the races. Now you can attach whatever you want to the top of this thing. And as you know, it's easy to get bogged down with a ton of gear. So the gear that you have needs to be able to do different things. And it's funny, with tripods, you don't see much utility in tripods. Tripods are usually, the kind of a straight line that they go down. So this one has the ability to do some extracurricular activities, which makes this tripod even more valuable asset to have. Now, in addition to the tripod being versatile, the 303 CBS is incredibly, that's really easy to use. Again, this is a feature that you would expect that would be standard in all tripods, but nothing could be further from the truth. Some tripods are a complete pain in the ass to set up and take forever to do so. But the folks over at Vanguard, hey, they've done a great job understanding the importance of a tripod that can be set up and taken down easily. So there are twist leg locks that enable fast extension and retraction. The center column is equally as easy to adjust, so it's vertical, horizontal, even upside down. Now, the ball head I mentioned a moment ago offers unique smooth operation, precise control, and really does so quickly and easily so you can get locked in for the shot instead of spending your time fiddling with your tripod. Now, in fact, the ball head has a secondary pan axis which allows you to easily level the tripod without having to adjust the legs, which is a nice feature. And it's funny, as I was prepping for this video here, one of the things I was talking to one of our editors about is Vanguard really hit it on the head with stability with this thing. The whole point of a tripod, when you think about it, is to be a stable base for your camera. Yeah, if you bought cheap tripods in the past, you know that some tripods just don't offer the same level of stability as others do. Vanguard is certainly at the top of the heap when it comes to stability. And it's funny, as I say that, I'm still reminded, that statement you would not hear me say 7 years ago, 10 years ago. There's no way in hell you would hear me talking about Vanguard that way. Actually, it was on the contrary. I hated their tripods. I thought the tripods were, my 2 cents, I thought they were garbage back then. In my opinion, I think they were poorly built. They just didn't check off enough boxes, nowhere near it. And when Vanguard made within the last handful of years, they didn't just make an improvement, they made a quantum leap forward. Many of you guys know, my tripods of choice, I have the Pro Media design. I have 2 Pro Media Gear tripods. One that is now holding my R5 right now, and the other one is holding my R6 Mark II that you guys normally see. So what you don't know is over the last 4 months, this tripod has been holding my R5 here. Actually, this tripod I've really enjoyed the hell out of this here. And so this tripod, right, and here's the kicker with this here. Now, I know we're talking about stability here, but man, my Pro Media gear, see, when it comes to tripods and things like camera bags, you guys know I'm a picky critic. And tripods, man, again, when you think about it, they're holding our cameras, our expensive investments on top of these things here. My Pro Media Gear tripods, I love these tripods. They're badass. But these tripods, both of these here, cost over $1,000. And I'm not saying that to be some goofy flex of any sort. It's actually on the contrary, when you see where I'm leading with this. I would recommend this over a Pro Media Gear. Reason being is this is $499 all in with the ball head versus the Pro Media Gear, which again is either badass tripods that I have here, but man, as I see it, I'm making recommendations based upon you getting the best value that you can for your dollar. And for $499, considering the hell that I've put this tripod through here, and it comes with the ball head, yeah. Boom. So, Vanguard has really, again, the tripod, they've made a huge leap forward. Anyways, getting back on topic, this tripod has huge rubber feet that are ideal for setting up on flat surfaces like in a portrait in a studio, but you could also quickly swap these out for spikes for those occasions where you're on uneven or slippery surfaces and need the tripod to dig in just a little bit for added stability. Now, even when the center column is at a funky angle, once it's locked off, the tripod is rock steady for your photo video work. And even if you were concerned about the stability of this thing, you can use the retractable and removable, the center column. Here we go, right here. Boom. Come on, get out there. Center column hook and add additional weight to ensure the tripod stays where it wants. Add it right there, hang your camera bag, and boom. In shifting gears, you get durability with this tripod as well. Now, I used the word investment earlier, and it was most certainly applies to this tripod here. Sure, it isn't the cheapest tripod out there, but cheap, when you think about it, really seldom means durable. I mean, I'd much rather fork over money for a better tripod that I know will last me years and years to come. And it's funny because when I first got involved in photography, I didn't think that way. I just picked up a tripod because, okay, by definition, it is a tripod, and I didn't see that gap, the differences between tripod. And for the first 4 or 5 years when I got involved in photography, I don't know how many different tripods I would go through. Within a handful of months, the legs start swinging and flopping all over the place. The compression fits on the knuckles won't hold the tripod, so when you set it down, often cases, if you put a little extra weight or a little nudge or the wind blows extra, it knocks it down. Maybe not the wind, but you get where I'm saying with that. But yeah, this thing has done a good job. Now, the build quality of this has been really evident from day one with this thing. I mean, the carbon fiber legs are super strong. They're obviously lightweight. Load-bearing components are made from aircraft-grade aluminum, which is also strong and lightweight. Now, these components also have protection against corrosion to assure a longer life. Even these leg locks are durable and they're easy to clean, so you can quickly get rid of any dirt or grime to assure long-lasting performance. It's funny, knowing that I was going to be doing this video here, my gear, it is used. I very rarely, I dust this, I'll dust it off. But for the video here, I actually got it. I actually used a little pledge in a microfiber cloth to make it look all good on camera. So for otherwise, but this thing was actually pretty filthy because it sits in the back of my truck. So let's talk about the final verdict. The enough talking here. What is the end result here? So after said all what I have said here, and during the last handful of months with this tripod, man, I have to say, it's been, as cliche as it sounds, it's been a joy to use this thing. Everything that, if I was on the market to buy a new tripod, this thing has everything that I would want a tripod to have for my photo and video work. Now, from the studio to the driveway, to the beach, to the mountains, this tripod has really done what I needed to do. It's, not to mention, on top of that, it's beautifully engineered, easy to use, dependable, no matter the situation. So let's be real here. What's not to like about that? So anyways, that's that, guys. This wraps up this quick 4-month review. So if you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a big old thumbs up. And while you're doing so, be sure to check the description for a link to information about the VEO 3+303 CBS tripod.